Hey guys and gals, this is Red Cartoon Hunter bringing you an exciting video. We have 27 easy PS Vita Platinums I'm about to list for you. Before we get started, just like every other video, I'd like to thank God for an opportunity to do something like this. He went ahead and gave me strength to do this as well as the idea, so I'd like to thank him. All I ask that if you do enjoy my video, you do like what I have to say, I do help you out in any other way, maybe convince you to get a Vita. Check out my other videos. What I'm trying to establish is a weekly episode of me talking about God and our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and maybe try to plant the seed inside of you to read His Word. So if you enjoy this video, please, I encourage you to watch my other videos based on God. That'd really help me out, and I'd really appreciate it if you do something like that for me. So thank you in advance. So couple ground things about the 27 PS Vita Platinum. So I do have the platinum in all the well, I actually have the platinum in all these games except for one. What made me kind of establish this, I've been wanting to do this for a while, and I've seen a list of some of the things that they have. They have of other people. They have visual novels. They have Lego games. They have Telltale games, which they're good games, but unfortunately, to have that in your collection doesn't sound very impressive. Doesn't seem like you put a lot of work into your trophies. So I wanted to make my own because I do have the experience in it. Had a lot of platinums. Plus, give you a good list of good games, great games that I would encourage you to play, and I would definitely want you to experience. So if you don't like my list, I apologize in advance. You could always create your own, just like I did. So I encourage that. If you want to see a list of just the games, you go on PSN profiles. If you haven't joined that, I encourage you to do so. It's a great trophy website. Join that is free as well. But the list will be from easy to easiest in terms of platinum. Some people might say it's hard to easy, however you want to put it, but I say easy to easiest because I think all these platinums are easy. I do have all the platinums except for one, and I'll tell you which one I do have. I do not have, but all the ones I do, I have achieved them. So I am speaking from experience from what I'm about to tell you. All right, so let's go and start off with the list. We got number 27. We got Uncharted Golden Abyss. So for any of y'all that ever played an Uncharted game, this trophy list is identical to the others. You do need 2 playthroughs, one on hard, one on crushing. I know some of you might be a little hesitant for crushing, but it's not too difficult. There are some little sections in the game where you might get stuck, but with patience, take cover, rejuvenate once you do get hit. Like you see right now, it's red. Just take cover and you'll be fine. But overall, really great experience, and I do encourage it. Let's go ahead and move on. We got number 26. We got Borderlands 2. So actually, really fun, great game. One of the best games that in my opinion, in terms of Vita, would be this game here. If you never played any of the Borderlands games, you got Borderlands 1, 2, the pre-sequel. This is also available on PS4 in the Handsome Jack collection, which comes with the 2 games. But man, this game comes with a lot of content. There's a lot of things to do. So I know some of y'all be like, well, this game takes too long to platinum. Yes, but that's the whole point of playing video games, It does have a good chunk of things to do. You do get the bang for your buck, so that is something that to me I know might be a disadvantage if you don't have a lot of time, but but this game would be something that you do want to play. You do want to spend your time, trying to achieve this platinum. So the whole game could actually be played in co-op, which is a plus. You have someone else that has a PS Vita, you could play this. It is not cross-play. The game is available on PS3 as well, but it's not cross-play. You will need about 2 playthroughs if you do decide to play with the Berserker, which I would recommend. I know some people might say that you have to do another playthrough with I think he's like the ninja guy. I think his name's Zero, but there's a glitch for that. In order to get I think it's an invisibility trophy to unlock from him. There's a glitch where you get on the truck and you move from the front seat to the back seat while you're going invisible. That would unlock that trophy. So that's a glitch you might want to look into. But if you want to just go through about 2.5 playthroughs, it'd be with this guy right here, the Berserker. There's no missable trophies. There's no collectibles. There is one tedious trophy called you have to kill Jimmy Jenkins. Oh man, that trophy gave me a headache. You'll understand what I'm talking about. You have to find a little robot from some of the loot crates, and then you have to kill him. So that might be something that might take you a while. But overall, really great experience. I do encourage it. You got Terramorphous here as well that you do have to defeat. You might need some help with this one, and you got to level up to level 50 too, so it might take you some time. But overall, recommend it. All right, we got number 25. We got Unit 13. So maybe if you played a SOCOM game or maybe a Rainbow Six game, this might be up your alley. This is something that I will encourage. It is a shooter, one of the few shooters that we do have on Vita. You know, we have this one, we have the great Call of Duty. Being sarcastic there if you haven't realized. But I think this, and we also have Killzone. I can't forget about Killzone. But this game is a stealth game, so you are playing as this protagonist here, and some others as well. You could basically pick your character later on of who you want to go as. You pretty much stealth kill, or you could decide to pick up some objectives. You could go in running gun, or you could do stealth. It's completely your choice. There is a missable trophy called Friendly Rivalry, and you will need a friend to have the game in order for you to lock it, because you do have to beat his score. You could you know ask me to be your friend, but I've already planned the game, so it might be kind of hard to beat my scores. You do have to receive all the stars from all the levels of this game, and this game was free on PlayStation Plus a while back. There's online trophies too, so just be wary of that. We got number 24, Velocity Ultra. I'd like to give a shout out to Colin Moriarty. He recommended the game to everybody on Beyond. So, um, this is some advice that I got from him. He said it was an easy platinum, and I believe it really is. It's a really fun game. It's kind of like a side scroller spaceship type game. You do have to perfect all the levels in order to perfect all 50 zones or 50 stages. You do have to collect all those little blue ovals there. I think they're survivors. They're survivors. You do have to beat the beat the stage in a certain amount of time, and you can't die in order to perfect the level. So it is skill based. So it's completely your choice to see if you want to give it a try. But it is a very fun game. Obviously with skill comes practice. If you just give patience and practice, a very fun game. So I would definitely recommend it. Not too bad of a platinum here. There's also Velocity 2X on PS Vita as well. That's the second part to this game. That platinum is actually a little bit harder than this one, or actually I'd say way harder than this one. Let's see here. There's also another trophy based on Minesweeper. I played Minesweeper on the computer. Was not good at it, but there is a trophy in order to accomplish Minesweeper. So um, that actually gave me the encouragement to achieve Minesweeper, because I never knew how to play it as a kid. But um, very fun little game. This is one of the few games that I still have on my Vita that I still do play Minesweeper on. So you might have fun with that. Recommend it. We're moving on. We got number 23. We got Need for Speed Most Wanted. So this game is also available on PS3. It is not a cross-buy game, so be wary of that. One thing you'll notice about the Need for Speed is that it is an open environment, and you do have to go to certain locations to do races. So if you ever played the newer Need for Speed game on PS4, it's kind of similar to that. This one's about cops so chasing you, just like the others, but um, the one on PS4 is a lot better than this one. But this one for Vita, I would definitely recommend it. If you just saw me break a gate, security gate, you will actually need to break 135 of them, I believe, and that is the only thing that is not tracked. So when I was going through my platinum run, I thought this trophy was glitched for me because I was looking everywhere for those last couple gates. I think I needed two of them. I could not find them. There's also billboards you have to smash as well. Those are tracked. There's some cameras that you have to speed through. Those are also tracked from you too. But the gate one, that is the one that you have to be a little worried about. I had to follow a map in order to find the last two gates that I needed. There's no missable trophies. You do need one playthrough. There is a cleanup at the very end. There are online trophies, and some of the online trophies um, would have to be, you'd have to take down a friend, so you do need someone that does own the game in order to do a couple online trophies. I think there's another trophy where you have to have five players that actually own the game too, and they have to join your friends list. So, very, very great game. Something very unusual on the Vita. I wish they would have made more games like this. It shows us what the potential of the PS Vita could have had. So, but unfortunately, we didn't get enough support from PlayStation. but this is not a cross-buy game. It is available on PS3 as well. Okay, we got number 22 that we're actually coming up to. We got number 22. We got Hotline Miami. So Hotline Miami is an indie game, maybe a game that you haven't heard of, but man, this game is a lot of fun. You're going in as this protagonist, and your goal is to basically, go and kill maybe a certain member of whatever they tell you to do. So this person is actually getting random phone calls, and he's like a hitman, and he pretty much just goes into there and just clears the room and just kills everybody. So it's actually a really nice bird eye view game that you have to kind of build up your combo. So you do have to 8 plus all the levels. In order to do that, you have to have a high combo. So that means you got to go in there really quick and just take everybody out without hesitating there. Not kind of like what I'm doing there. I'm kind of just slowing everything down, just kind of show you. I haven't played the game in a while, so that's why I keep getting killed there. But and sometimes it could get a little hard, but I think overall it's a very nice experience, very great game. There are some collectibles. You do have to collect masks and puzzle pieces, but I love the fact after games you pretty much go through the whole thing, and then you can do stage select for all the extra cleanup stuff. This game was free for PlayStation Plus back in October 2013. So maybe you might have had that. It is cross-buy. You do get it on PS4, PS3, and PS Vita when you do purchase it, so that's always a plus. Um, I have not tried the cross save feature, so I'm not sure how that works. But pretty much you play it on Vita, you're not gonna want to put this game down because you could just do maybe one stage at a time, and then go back to maybe the next day, or take it slow at a time. But great game. There's also Hotline Miami 2. That platinum is actually a lot more difficult than this one. That one kind of slows everything down because the stages are so big. These are a little bit smaller, which make everything a little bit more comfortable. But as you can see me right here trying to take down one of the guys, it's very, very fun game. And that soundtrack, man, that soundtrack is just great. That one of those games that you could just listen to, just leave there on and just listen to that soundtrack. We got number 21. We got The Amazing Spider-Man. I grew up watching The Amazing Spider-Man, so when I found out this was coming to Vita, I was very excited. We got Activision doing a stealth release on this game, which I was a little unsure about. It was a weird little move by Activision. The stingiest company ever, just to kind of hopefully you're aware of that. But one thing about this game, I could not find this game on the PlayStation Store. Maybe that joins all the other games Activision's taking out, like the Ninja Turtle game that they removed. So just be cautious of that. Um, let's see. The only place I could find it was actually at GameStop. So at GameStop, it is quite expensive. You're looking at about $20 for the game to purchase it on PS Vita. But Activision, they don't lower their games. They're like Nintendo. So, in order to achieve this game, you do have to have one playthrough, but your playthrough will have to be on the hardest difficulty, which is called superhuman difficulty. If you've ever, been in maybe a Call of Duty game on the hardest difficulty, this game shouldn't be very hard to you. There are little tight places, but you could do some type of stealth as well. And as long as maybe you're good, like at Batman games, where you counter hits and things like that, this game shouldn't be too hard for you. Be wary later on in the game you're gonna go to like a New York, and you're gonna have an open environment. Real nice for V to have open environment there. You will have to collect 700 comic books. Let me repeat that again. 700 comic books. And you might say, did you do that? Yes, I did. I was crazy enough to collect 700 comic books. I believe after 500 they start appearing on the map for you. But I listen to music while doing that as well. There are other collectibles as well. There's no online trophies. This game is not cross-buy, but this game is available on PlayStation 3. We have on PlayStation 4, you got The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and we got that new one coming up, which looks awesome. So I'm really excited about the new Spider-Man game that Sony is developing. We'll see how that one turns out. But great game, um, The Amazing Spider-Man. All right, we got number 20 here. We got PixelJunk Shooter Ultimate. Um, I actually haven't um, played a PixelJunk game before any of these. Even though I know PixelJunk shooters are pretty old for some people, the goal of the game is for you to take this ship and go ahead and rescue all the survivors within the stage. Once you rescue all the survivors, then the gate will open up for the next section of the level. The thing I like about the game is that I wish a lot of games would do this. You see the diamonds, this is 2 out of 3, so that means in that section I'm missing 1. So I like that it's, collectible friendly for you. And the scientists, when you destroy one, because you can't kill one, they'll have an X on there, so that way you know that you did kill one. So basically restart the section and collect all the scientists. But that will be needed for a trophy there. So we got PixelJunk here. Minimum number of playthroughs is 1. Missable trophies, there are none. Collectibles, yes. Scientists, secret areas, diamonds. Online trophies, there are online trophies for this. So the online might not be so active, but you could self boost with a PlayStation 4. If you It is cross buy, so you get the PlayStation Vita and the PlayStation 4 version, and you could just self boost it by yourself, or just make a boosting section too. We got number 19. We got Metal Gear Solid 3. If you never played any of the Metal Gear games, not really needed. It is nice to make the connection between 1, 2, and connect it to 3, but overall this game is awesome. You got a nice storyline. You're playing as Snake here, and Snake's going on a mission. He's all by himself, and he has to defeat his former mentor, basically the person that's taught him everything. So, I don't want to spoil too much of the game, but overall, awesome, great game. If you buy the collection on Vita, you get Metal Gear Solid 2 as well as 3. 2 is actually a good game too, and we got 1, and 1 you could buy on PS1 Classics, play it on your PlayStation 3. You could also play it on PSP and PS Vita too. Minimum number of playthroughs, you got 1, but you do have to follow a collectible guide, because without it, um, you'll probably miss out on the collectible trophies. So there are missable trophies. Online trophies, there are none. This game is not free on PlayStation Plus, has never been. This game is available on PlayStation 3, so maybe you want to play it on there. That might be an option for you. Reason why people might not like the game is because of the controls. The controls is very very hard to maneuver. Mistakes sometimes. Sometimes you get a little lost what you're doing with the controls, especially if you gotta like escape. You probably end up dying because you just get it's not a typical type game. As you can tell, you see me moving. Um, One aspect they added here was the camouflage aspect. So you basically, like, as you can tell, like I'm at 60% right now, and there's a trophy to get 100%, but you do have to. There's a certain section on where to get that, because you do need a certain clothing to do that. But overall, thought this was an awesome game. I played it once without a collectible guide, and then I played it a second time with the collectible guide just to enjoy the story, because the story is what really grabs you. Makes you care about Snake and how he gets his name as well. But right now, basically collecting the packets from the tree, and as you can tell, it's a little awkward viewing there. Alright, we're gonna move on. We got number 18. We got Zombie Tycoon 2. So Zombie Tycoon 1 was actually a PlayStation Mini, and I guess they made this into a bigger game. But you got minimum number of playthroughs. You got 1. There's no missable trophies, because you do got chapter select. I believe this is about 9 stages, and in order to platinum is about 15 hours. Not too bad. You got collectibles, yes. Online trophies, yes. There are some. You got, but the online trophies, because this game is cross-buy with PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita, you could self-boost it just like the PixelJunk game. Online trophies take you maybe about 45 minutes in order to do. This game was actually free on PlayStation Plus, and that's why I decided to play it. I thought it was a nice, cute game. There's also gameplay on it. There's also another game, if you played Legend of War. That game was free on PlayStation Plus too. It's kind of similar to that. That one's based on war. This one's based on zombies, so it's kind of almost in the same field, but the gameplay or the controls are almost the same there. But what you have to do is you have to control the zombies to capture certain objectives for you. Like right now, they do want me to capture the houses there, and when you capture the houses, you either hit it, or you throw rocks at it, you throw things at it, and when you basically capture it, then you could create more zombies with it, and your army or your zombie crew will basically grow, and that allows you to defeat other enemies or capture other objectives, things like that. Obviously later on you'll be making different types of zombies. There's like some samurai zombies that you actually make too. Those are very helpful. But overall, you pretty much just control it. Nice little game on Vita. You can also play it on PlayStation 3 too. I love the fact that they do let you, if you have maybe someone come over and wants you to play with, one person play on PlayStation 3, the other person can play on Vita. I always like that aspect. I think, not really many people have that. Alright, we got number 17. We got Gravity Rush here. Some history of mine. This is actually my very first platinum, so this pretty much got my addiction started here. I actually forgot how great this game was. I was actually playing through the opening scene again. This is the very beginning, so I'm not spoiling anything for you. It was actually pretty intense, and I actually forgot how great it looked and how great it ran. So, as you can tell, you're basically flying around, and you could use the PlayStation Vita to adjust where exactly you want to land. You move your actual Vita up, down, left, and right, and actually adjust. I guess goes by the camera to see where you're flying. So, I thought that was a nice aspect. Didn't really use much of it though, but I used the analog sticks for it. You got minimum number of playthroughs. You got one plus cleanup. There are some missable trophies. Oh, I'm sorry. There are no missable trophies. I apologize. You got collectibles. There are none. There are some challenges, and the challenges, the way they go is that you'd have to reach a certain section within a time limit. They do, have you defeat some enemies on the way too, so that makes it a little bit harder. But you do have to gold medal all the challenges in order to get the platinum. There's some that give you a little bit of a hard time, but with practice, not such a big deal. You don't got any online trophies. This game was free on PlayStation Plus. This came with the same time the Uncharted game came out. That's what got me hooked into PlayStation Plus. There are DLC trophies, but they're story-related DLC trophies, which are the best. In the DLC trophies, you do have some challenges in that as well. This game is available on PlayStation 4. It's called Gravity Rush Remastered, and you do get the DLC included within the Gravity Rush Remastered. But as you can tell, the opening cutscene is actually pretty good, especially for a Vita game. I thought this is actually great. You got a nice experience on the go here. But it's pretty intense. It actually made me want to play Gravity Rush too. So maybe when it's on sale, I'll actually pick that up and try to platinum that one. But I thought overall the game, really great game. Like I said, this is actually what the first PlayStation Platinum that I actually received. So that's one of the ones I'll never forget. Can't forget your first one. Alright, you got number 16. You got Guacamole, an awkward name. Have you ever heard of guacamole? Kind of got the name from that. Alright, you got the minimum number of playthroughs. You got one, but you do have to enter the Konami code and to play on the harder difficulty. And someone might be skeptical to start it on the harder difficulty. There's some hard parts in there, but overall it's not too bad. I'm actually replaying the game again with my kids on PlayStation 4. The PlayStation 4 version was free on PlayStation Plus, and that's the only reason I'm doing it. But it is a 4-player co-op. I believe the PlayStation 3 version is a 2-player co-op. You can play on 2 players, but the PlayStation 4 version is a 4-player co-op. So maybe you have some friends that come over. This might be the game that they actually play together, and I think it works out really good to be 4-player co-op. Actually makes the game a lot easier too. But for this game, like I said, you got one playthrough with the Konami code unlocked. It will unlock hard mode. We got missable trophies. There are none. As you can tell, over a little while ago, I did show you the map. This is actually the very end of the game, and you do have to unlock the whole map. There are some collectibles, which are chests and orbs. There are no online trophies. This game, the PlayStation Vita version was never free, but the PlayStation 4 version was. So if you do have that one, you want to play that one, go right ahead. That one's as good as this one. It's almost the same thing. There are some DLC trophies for this game as well, but I've seen it come out to be less than $1 for the DLC. This game is cross-buy. If you buy this version, you also get the PlayStation 3 version for free. And like I said, this game is available on PlayStation 4 if you do have that and you want to give that a try. But overall, it's like a Metrovania type style game. So if you like those with the beat 'em up, I'd encourage you to pick that one up. Alright, you got number 15. You got Sly Cooper Thieves in Time. So if you maybe like Ratchet Clank, maybe like Jack and Daxter, this game might be a good game for you. Overall, platinum very easy. A little tedious though. This is actually, I raged on this one because I actually I actually overrided my save, and I was practically at the end, so I had to do a whole another run, just because I did a simple mistake in the very beginning where I override my save, so I started a new game on it. Oh my god, I'll never forget that either. All right, we got so this is number 15. Minimum number of playthroughs you got one. Plus there is cleanup. There is also some backtracking in the game. When you defeat a certain boss, they give you a power, and with that boss power, you have to go back to the old sections in order to receive certain treasures or certain masks. There's no missable trophies, which is great. There are collectibles, which are the bottles. Right now, you'll see that you see that green bottle I just collected there. There are 120 of them throughout the game, and like I said, some of them you'll need a different power in order to receive. So they'll be like, oh, I don't know how to get this, bottle, because you're not necessarily supposed to get it yet. Or you see the treasure, like the treasure, what you have to do in order to collect it, you have to take it back to your hideout, in that open world section, at within a certain amount of time. So this is my first, you know, try at it in a while, so I kind of forgot. But I like the arrow helps you out there. This game is cross-buy. You get the PlayStation 3 version, plus you get the PlayStation Vita version. Within the game, if you're one of those games that like those auto pop platinums, this is one of them. I believe with your save, you could auto pop the Vita version if you played on PlayStation 3. You'll auto pop the PlayStation Vita version, so that's something you're into. This game is actually one of them. But overall, really great game. If you haven't played any of the other Sly games, I encourage. Sly 1 is actually my favorite, and I thought it was a very easy platinum. We got number 14. We got Ratchet and Clank free. I'm sorry, full frontal assault. Um, Minimum number of playthroughs you got one plus cleanup. Missable trophies there are none. Collectibles there are none. This has that Ratchet and Clank feel, but it's actually a tower defense game. So this game's actually really relatively shorter. I know some of y'all that are trophy hunters, you actually think of the game, you're like, oh, this will take you about 20 hours, 25. But this actually take you about 15, and there are actually a lot of gold trophies in the game if I remember correctly. But there are some online trophies, and the online trophies are pretty much, really hard to find. Someone that's actually playing online with this game, but you could easily start a boosting session and start one up. Let's see. Nice thing about it is cross-buy, so if you buy the Vita version, you get the PlayStation 3 version for free. Also, it also gives you Ratchet and Clank Deadlock on PlayStation 3. That was a PlayStation 2 game that they remastered for PlayStation 3. So if you buy this version, they give you that extra game, Ratchet Clank Deadlock. So all the Ratchet Clank games are very easy to platinum. They're time-consuming though, but they are easy. And I love the fact that they give you, after you defeat the game, they basically give you the kind of like the world once again, so that way you do all the miscellaneous trophies that they have, all the skill points, things like that. But there are some developer trophies that might give you, a little bit of a hard time, but you could also go find a guide, find the best way to the developer times. Have to beat the level within a certain amount of time, like 14, 15 minutes. But if you follow a guide, it shouldn't be too much of a trouble in order for you to do. You just got to be super quick, and you can easily just restart if you kind of messed up, or you're afraid that your time not might meet what it needs to be met. But it does have that Ratchet and Clank feel, which is what I love. It's one of the games you could just put music and just play at the same time. Those are the type of games that I really love. Oh, we got number 13. We got Madden NFL 13. So my first PlayStation 1 game was Madden 99. I still remember. I can't forget that. And this kind of reminded me of Madden here. Some people got this game got a lot of hate because some people were mad because it didn't have the franchise mode. I don't really care about the franchise mode. I just pretty much just want to play, maybe with a buddy too. But if you're really good at Madden games, you could actually do this in 2 games. But chances are you're gonna need to replay the game. So they have certain trophies on, maybe getting a certain amount of touchdowns with your quarterback, or getting a certain amount of yards with your running back. So very easy trophies. You could basically just play a quick game and then collect some trophies and then aim for some other trophies on the next game. Kind of the way I did it. I know some people. There's some hard trophies where you have to intercept the ball from the opponent's end zone, and then you got to take it all the way for a touchdown on your side, as well as a punt return. Those type of trophies. But what you do is you adjust the sliders in the game, and the sliders make like the computer kind of dumb. or relatively easy or slow. So adjusting the sliders will actually make you a lot quicker than the AI in the computer. So that does help out with getting some of the harder trophies in the game. There's an online component to the game where you could play multiplayer with someone else. So if you'd like to boost the trophies, that may be something you're interested in doing, or you need help with that, you could also do it like that. This game I actually couldn't find on the PlayStation Store. I thought it was kind of rare. The only other game I saw was that was the Amazing Spider-Man. But you could purchase this game at GameStop. It's kind of pricey though. You're looking at $24.99 for this game. But I think of it in the terms of this might be a collectible later on because there's only one game and it's listed on the Vita. So it's pretty rare find. Maybe if you go to the pawn shop, you'll have better luck finding it like that. But one thing I liked about the game, because I know I played some football games where you're running as a running back and you can't juke your computer opponent, no matter how hard you try. You basically can't do any of that. But in here, you could basically juke them, run through them, run them over. They have pretty much all the plays that you see in the games, play action, running with the ball, Hail Mary, things like that. So I thought overall it was a good experience for the game. I wish a lot more people would have maybe not give it so much hate. Maybe they would have done another one. But let's go ahead and move on. We got number 12. We got PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale. And I was actually really excited for this game. I remember I seen it on E3. I love the fact that it was cross-play. If you have the PlayStation 3 version and you have the Vita version, you could play um, against each other no matter what platform you were on. So, and this is actually one of the first cross-buy games, which is made it all intriguing to get the PlayStation 3 version as well as the Vita version all with one price. So I thought that was quite awesome. I know some of you might find that number 12 is actually quite low for this game. It should actually be up higher. It should be one of the easier ones, but my goodness, the grind for the platinum is so awful. The person that made up these trophies should be fired because I don't know, they could have gone a little bit more creative. I think you have to beat the story mode with about maybe 20 characters in order to get the platinum. I might be over exaggerating, but it's about more than at least 10 playthroughs of different characters for the story mode, and it's so brutal sometimes. I'd kind of find myself falling asleep while I was trying to do it. And this has a separate playlist in the PlayStation 3 version, and because of that, I played on PlayStation 3, and I kind of grinded out the Vita version and the PlayStation 3 version in order to get the platinums on both. So that's something I regret. I regret doing. I should have never done that, but I did. Embarrassingly, I did. So you got minimum number of playthroughs. You got maybe about 20. Missable trophies, there better not be. So there's none. Collectibles, there are none. Online trophies, there is. Online trophies. Uh, Online pass, there is one. So just be wary if you buy the used version of the game from GameStop. Um, there are DLC trophies for PlayStation All Stars as well. All right, let's go ahead and move on. We got number 11. We got Tearaway. So this game was available free for PlayStation Plus on the PS4 version, and that's called Tearaway Unfolded. That recently came out, so this might be something that you receive free on PlayStation Plus, but for the PlayStation 4 version. So just be wary of that. Very easy platinum, nice little game. You're basically a messenger, and you're trying to deliver a message to someone. Minimum number of playthroughs, you got one, plus you got cleanup at the end. There are no missable trophies. There are collectibles such as confetti, collecting all the confetti presents, and there's also a paper craft plan. One thing I like that what they did in the game is that they gave you like origami design. So basically, for you to do origami at your home, they gave you the plans in order to do it. I thought that was really nice and creative. Never actually tried any of them, but I just like the effort for do something different. This game was not free on Vita. There are no DLC trophies, so it's an easy 100%. There is a glitch on the trophy, so just be wary. Collecting all the confetti, there's a stage, I believe it's level 3 or 4, where you have to wait a little while for the confetti to appear in order to receive it. I know that was something, that I found out that, I couldn't find a certain confetti on a level. So I read about it and I found out that, yeah, you do have to wait a little bit of time, and then the confetti will appear rather late. So just be wary of that, because I know you might experience that and say, "Oh, my game is glitched," but it's technically not. The platinum is achievable. But Tearaway, fun little game. PS4 version as well as Tearaway Unfolded. You just recently got that free for PlayStation Plus. All right, let's move on to number 10. We got Super Exploding Zoo. We got a nice little penguin here. If you like zoo animals, this might be the game up your alley here. Um, if you see what I'm doing right now, I'm destroying all the plants around like the hideout area that they have. You're gonna think that trophy is glitch for destroying all the plants or all the things in your little I'm not sure what you call it, like free zone area there. It is not. There are some little grass that you do have to destroy. That might be the one you're missing. But if you look through everything, you should, uh, you know, be wary of where you're going. And that trophy should unlock once you destroy everything that's there. So, um, just to give you the heads up, you do have to download the latest patch. Make sure it is downloaded because there is a glitch trophy on this game. You got a minimum number of playthroughs. There's one plus cleanup at the end. Missable trophies there are none. There are collectibles, which you do have stickers on certain levels. You follow a guide. That's not very too hard to find. You could just do a blind playthrough and then go back later on to get the stickers. No big deal. There are online trophies for the game. I'm pretty sure the online is not very active, but you could self-boost it with a PlayStation 4. The game is cross-buy, so you get the PlayStation 4 version and you get the Vita version for free, and you could self-boost with a PlayStation 4. Pretty much just go online at the same exact time, and chances are you'll probably find yourself while you're online boosting it, or just find someone to boost it with as well. Like I said, this game was free on PlayStation Plus, and there's no DLC trophies, which I'm kind of disappointed about. That would have been something maybe I would have liked to continue playing, but overall, I thought it was a nice little cute game. Maybe if you have kids as well, this might be a game that they would be willing to play too. So you're basically playing as zoo animals, and your objective is just to protect the egg there, and you have to defeat certain monsters by making the zoo animals defeat the enemies. But overall, nice little cute game. Made me laugh, made me smile when I was playing it. Alright, we got number 9. We got Motor Storm RC. So one thing you'll notice about my gameplay here is you got to get used to the handling, man. The handling is crazy awful in this game. Something you got to kind of get used to, as you can tell. I haven't played the game in a long time. It's been maybe been 3 years that I played it, and I had a lot of trouble from the very beginning. And I think they're kind of aware of it because they tell you that you could actually change your handling. They give you a little message, so they're probably wary of that. But overall, once you get used to the handling, it's actually a really fun game. Um, Minimum number of playthroughs, you got one. Uh, you actually need to achieve all the medals in the game in order to get the platinum. So each level contains three, bronze, silver, and gold, and you do have to get the gold on all of them. There are no missable trophies. There are no collectibles. There are online trophies, and you need a friend that actually has the game in order to beat their ghost time. I wouldn't be a good friend to invite because I already have the platinum. I have high times on every level, but if you'd like to add me as a friend, I'm perfectly willing to do that if you like that. But I'd encourage you to find someone else. No online pass. This game is cross-buy, so if you do purchase this, you get the PlayStation 3 version, plus you get the PS Vita version, and they're both separate trophy lists. So, I know some of y'all, you really like the game like myself as well. I play the game twice sometimes, maybe not back to back. I get kind of bored, but after a while, I'll play both of them. This game was not free on PlayStation Plus. There are DLC trophies, and the DLC trophies are identical to the gameplay. They have different, like different races as well as hot times. You have to beat the stage in a certain amount of time. As you can tell, I got a bronze there, so I didn't do very good. You have to gold medal all the levels though. But overall, real nice, fun little game for the Vita. All right, we got number 8. We got Final Horizon. This game kind of went under the radar. Honestly, I never even heard of it. I got it free on PlayStation Plus, and that's why I decided to give it a try. So it was free on PlayStation Plus. It is a tower defense game, and there's a lot of nice little creatures here that you have to destroy. You got spiders, you got bees. Later on, you got scorpions. Minimum number of playthroughs, you do got one. You do have to 3-star all the missions. Missable trophies, there are none. Collectibles, there are none. Online trophies, there are none. So it's a nice, easy game. All you got to do is pretty much just play it. Free with PlayStation Plus, like I said. There's a DLC pack. It gives you about maybe 4 trophies, but it's not very pricey. Maybe you're looking at $2.99 for the DLC. Cross-buy, no, but the game is available on PlayStation 4, but it is not cross-buy. I hate when you do that. I don't understand the purpose. Just make it cross buy. It's not like the game's very popular that people are gonna buy both versions of the game unless you're maybe a trophy hunter. The platinum's actually rare too, so if you're into rare trophies, this one's actually not. I would think it'd be uncommon, but it is actually rare. And this is actually the prologue of the game, so I don't think I'm spoiling anything for you. They're kind of just showing me how to play the game in the very beginning. But if you need after this stage, it goes by really slower. So don't be too worried about that. All right, we got a nice little game here. We got number 7. We got Resistance, Burning Skies. This is the actual game that burned the franchise down. Oh my goodness, I don't know what Sony's doing over there. We got Resistance, a really popular uh, what do you call it? Game here, and pretty much a gaming franchise. And they went ahead and made Burning Skies. And this game I went ahead and purchased, full price. I believe it was $40 when it first came out. I was very excited about this game. This takes place between Resistance 1 and Resistance 2. Resistance 1, the infection is in another country, and then in Resistance 2, the infection reaches the United States, and this is pretty much the beginning of it. So we kind of know how it plays out if you played. But this game, minimum number of playthroughs, you got 1 plus cleanup. Missable trophies, there are none. Collectibles, there are none. Online trophies, there is 1. So I just want to warn you that the multiplayer is dead at this time. So you would have to find a boosting session. You need at least 4 players in order to start an online match. There is an online pass, so I would not encourage you to buy this game used because you need to buy that online pass, which is $10. It'd be best just to purchase the game digital and receive that online pass for free with it. It's not cross-buy. It's only available on Vita as well. Um, but I'm a big Resistance fan. I just love the games. I played all of them. If your Resistance 2 does have a platinum, but the platinum is unreachable because the multiplayer went down. Resistance 3 is a great game. I'd recommend that one. That one has co-op, and you could actually play the whole game with a friend. If you're worried about the superhuman, I think it's superhuman difficulty with co-op. Man, that makes everything so much easier to do. So I tried that by myself, and then I tried it with someone, and it made it so much easier to do it with someone else, and it's actually funner like that. So, but Resistance Burning Sky, I thought it was an okay game. It wasn't the best or great, but I thought it was okay. Boss battles, all the bosses look the same, and that was some criticism it actually took. And I think the game was developed really quick, if I remember. But I'm a big Resistance fan. I gotta support the company, even though it's in flames. That's just the way I am. But Resistant Burning Sky, one of those games you could pretty much just play through, look at the story, just enjoy it, and then later on just do cleanup for the platinum. Real nice one. All right, we got number 6. We got Hitman Go Definitive Edition. We got minimum number of playthroughs. There are 1 plus cleanup at the end. Missable trophies. There is a missable trophy called Silent Assassin, and it's complete all objectives without using hints. So at the bottom of the game, it does. If you're getting lost in the game and not understanding how to complete the mission, you basically ask for a hint, and the hint will basically guide you on what you need to do in order to complete the mission. And you want to avoid pushing the triangle there. And when you push the triangle, it does warn you, so it gives you the heads up that you won't receive this trophy. So it's very hard to miss it. But having trouble, you could easily follow a guide. Collectibles, there are none. Online trophies, there are none. It is cross-buy, so if you do purchase this, you get the PlayStation 4 version, you get the PlayStation Vita version. This game's really easy. You could probably beat it maybe in like 6-7 hours with a guide, or even faster with a guide. But be wary if you're playing it on Vita like I did. If you follow the guide, some of the way the guides tell you how to complete the stage might not be the same for the Vita because of the camera angles. I kind of experienced that. I was following the guide, and then for some reason I kept getting caught, or it wasn't following through. So then I had to play it on PlayStation 4. And then when I played on PlayStation 4, I followed the guide, and it did work. So I noticed it was actually the camera angles, the way the camera turns, and the direction that you go. But you are the hitman. I forgot his. I don't honestly remember his name. I think it's just the hitman, and you just gotta complete the mission. There are certain objectives later on that basically take out all the security guards. Don't get caught. Don't let anyone see you. Those type. But you could easily just do two of the objectives and then go back and do the third one, so that way you basically 3-star. I call it just 3-star the whole map there. So. But overall, really easy game. Maybe about 6, 7 hours in order to platinum. You get any trouble, there's guides like everywhere for this game. So Easy game. We have number 5. We have Volume. Kind of an awkward name for a video game, but the name is Volume. Kind of understand why. Maybe because of the cubes and things like that. But um, we got it's like a helicopter view stealth game. There's actually 100 levels, but the levels are very short, which makes the platinum very achievable. Maybe in about 6 hours. Minimum number of playthroughs, you got 1 plus cleanup. There are missable. There are no missable trophies. There are some collectibles, and the collectibles will be to read the text. As you can tell, I just kind of just read one to you right now, and I like the way. I don't like that they don't keep tracks of which text you've read, if you just in case you miss it. But there is a trophy for reading like 25% of the text, and there's a guide to tell you when you should receive that trophy, what level, so that way you know, okay, I didn't miss any texts before this, or there's 50% of the texts, there's a trophy for that. So there's a certain level where you should receive that, and but you're basically just reading the text. I like the fact that the texts are so easy to read, or so easy to basically see. You can't necessarily miss them on the map, and that's something I like. I hate the fact that I had to follow a guide and read all the texts. I went through the game without reading a guide, so it wasn't very hard. I just went back to see where I should receive the trophies from, is where I did. This game is cross-buy. The game comes on PlayStation 4 as well as PlayStation Vita. I like to give some credit to Mike Bittel. I think he's the creator of the game. He gave a nice little thing in the beginning that told you, thank you for purchasing my game. Hopefully you enjoy it, while the game was loading. So I thought that was very nice of him to do. Made me feel happy to support him with purchasing the game. And I think he's a somewhat of a trophy hunter. I think he listens to PS I Love You when that was on. So he was aware that putting a platinum in the game will help him sell the game. But overall, I thought it was an okay game. Pretty good. Alright, we got number 4. We got Jak 3. So if you never played any of the Jak games, those are actually easy platinum. Jak 1 is very easy. Jak 2 might be a little bit more tedious. The level spike at certain times. But we got Jak 3 here. You don't have to understand the story. It's nice to make the connection, but if this is the first one you're playing, it's perfectly fine. You got the collection you could pick up. It's very cheap as well. You get all 3 games. What I'm showing you right now is a glitch. So there is a trophy for collecting 600 orbs. Let me say that again, 600 orbs. And you could do it the right way, which actually go through it, collect them all. But there's a glitch in the game, which I'm kind of showing you how to do here. You go to the little statue. The statue tells you where the orb is at. You go to the orb, and you do the dark power right beside the orb, and they'll pick up the orb. But at the same time, you restart the match. So that would actually credit you 3 orbs when you do that. So as you can tell, I'm restarting the mission, and when I restart the mission, you'll notice that I do pick up the orb right there. So basically, restarting, you got to keep doing that at the very end of the game in order to receive the 600 orbs. The whole trophy list is based on story related, so you can't necessarily miss it. You're gonna play through the whole game, and you're gonna receive about, maybe I would have to say 95% of the trophies, and then this would actually be collecting the 600 orbs would actually be the last one. So I just kind of showed you that the glitch is confirmed for Vita. Let's see here. We got number 3. We got Severed. And Severed is another game by the Dreambox Studio. They're the ones that made the Guacamelee game. So if you like those games, this will probably be another game that you're interested in purchasing. It has an easy platinum too. The only thing I didn't like about this game, this is you have to use the touchscreen. As you can tell that I'm using my fingers there. That was the only downfall of this game. I don't like anything with touchscreen, especially if you're one of the people that play in bed. If you're doing that, you're kind of swiping back and forth. Your significant other might be a little upset about it, like you're making too much noise, you're moving too much. So that was the only downfall of the game. But overall, okay game. You got minimum number of playthroughs. You got 1 plus cleanup. There is a missable trophy called completed memories, and what that trophy is you got to there are about maybe 4 items that you have to collect, and those related to your family. Your mom, your dad, and you have to collect that before you finish the game. And there'll be a certain point where they tell you, hey, you have to, this is the point where there's no return after this part. But before you complete the game, so just be wary of that, but not too bad. Collectibles, yes, you do have to 100%, and I like the map is really friendly. It tells you when you've actually gone to that location or not. It does tell you each dungeon that there is, it is 100%. It does advise you of that too. So that was something that was nice. I think this game is available on iPad or iPhone or iOS as well if you're not interested in playing it on Vita. But I thought it was a nice game. You're basically playing as a girl, and she's trying to figure out what happened to her family, and you're kind of like a warrior. All right, but easy platinum there. You got number 2. You got Dragon Fantasy Book 2. So I'm a big RPG fan, and as I got older, my time is very limited of playing. So I love the fact that this RPG wasn't very time consuming. Maybe you're looking at the platinum maybe about 10 12 hours in order to achieve. So, and it was an RPG. This is old style what do you call it, taking turn RPG. Forgot the actual name off the top of my head. But minimum number of playthroughs, you got 1 plus the cleanup. There's a missable trophy. There's 1. It's actually at the very beginning of the game, which is great. So just in case you miss it, you can always go back. It's a Rockman. That's the name of the trophy that's missable. You got collectibles. Collectibles as capturing monsters, reading books, etc. One thing I do give you a little tip is make sure you are capturing monsters every time that because I believe you have to capture all the monsters, and anytime you meet one, try your best to capture them. Online trophies are none. Online pass there is none. This game was not free on PlayStation Plus. It is cross-buy. It gives you, if you purchase the Vita version, gives you the PS3 version, gives you the PS4 version. The PS4 version has a different name. It's called Dragon Fantasy Ice something, but it's relatively the same game. I don't know why they would give it a different name. There's also Book 1, and hopefully Book 3 will come out later on, so that we have the nice collection. Book 1 does not have a platinum though. It just has 100%, but overall easy game. Alright, and my number 1 easiest platinum to achieve is Minecraft. Some of y'all might not disagree with, or might disagree with the choice, but I just love the fact that this game is just so much fun to play, that just made the platinum chat more achievable and fun in order to do. I didn't like the game at first. I thought it was boring. I was like, I don't want to create things. I'm not very creative. I didn't want to do any of that. And then when you go into the game, it doesn't necessarily tell you what you need to do, which I hate. I wish the developer would basically tell you this is what you need to do. If you don't know what you need to do, I'm going to tell you right now. Alright, so once you hit the game, they're going to give you some tutorial on how to basically craft things, how to make some tools. What you need to do is mine, go to a cave, find silver. Once you find silver, make a silver pickaxe. Once you have a silver pickaxe, you're gonna find a diamond. You're gonna find diamonds in the cave, and the silver pickaxe is the only one that could mine you that. Once you find diamond, you create a diamond pickaxe, and then from there you have to find obsidian. And obsidian is a black block by the lava, and it's created with water. You find maybe 12 of those. I believe it's 12 or 16 of those. You basically mine that. You have to find an ender portal, or you have to make an ender portal. From the ender portal, you have to collect some items from the ender portal. And then once you come back from the ender portal, you have to find enderman. From enderman, they drop pearls at random. You have to kind of just, hopefully you actually find enderman, and they basically drop pearls for you. From there, you have to create ender pearls. And from ender pearls you need 12 of them, and then from there you have to find the ender portal, and then from the ender portal you defeat or you fight the ender dragon, and boom, that's pretty much the story of the game there. There's other things that you have to do too, but I love the fact that there's trophies along with that. There's so much DLC in this game, it's not even funny. They just released another DLC trophy pack. I apologize, realized I messed up. After you find the obsidian, you had to create another portal. I apologize. And then from there you find the ender portal to fight the ender dragon. But this is my number 1 PS Vita easiest platinum for PS Vita, because it's just so much fun. Minimum number of playthroughs are 1 plus cleanup. Missable trophies are none. Collectibles, there are none, except technically you're collecting different things in the game though. Online trophies, there's a lot of them, so be skeptical of that. Online pass are none. Cross-buy, you do get the PS4, the PS3, and the PS Vita version. They all have different stackable trophies, or not stackable, but they all have different lists of trophies. I almost have the 3 platinums. This is actually the only platinum I do not have, because there's a DLC trophy that I do need in order to unlock the platinum. It's 30 days of Minecraft. I think I have more than enough, but for some reason the trophy has not popped, so I'm kind of waiting for some of the DLC so I go back to the game. But overall, really fun game, especially if you know what you're doing. Hoping you enjoyed the video. Leave a like, leave a subscribe. Look at my other videos as well. Remember, God's not dead. That's the whole purpose of the video for this one, so that way I promote my other one. Technically, all I wanted you to do is read God's word, because I think that's the most important thing in this lifetime. So that way we don't, be in a lake of fire. But leave a comment below. I appreciate your view. Peace be with you, and hopefully you enjoy the video. Goodbye.